Now, we're going to move on because just like I talked about earlier in the show, guys, discrimination is always allowed as long as it's against, well, people that look like me. I find that really, really strange, really, really odd. But like, you got white privilege, you can handle it. Go play your video games that you earned. But we're going to say you didn't earn it. You only got it because you were white. Guys, this story is going to creep you the fuck out. And it's going to trigger you and it's going to bother you. But this is what we live in today. I want you guys to understand. Woke Chicago Church is fasting from whiteness for Lent. By banning all hymns by Caucasian musicians, pastor says our music will be drawn from the African American spiritual traditions. Listen, I have no problem with any of this. My problem is that you won't allow me to do it. My problem is that you won't allow people like me to discriminate just like this. Why can't we say no, yo, 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 yo? Why can't we say that? The First United Church of Oak Park announced that for 2022, they do a mix of giving something up and taking something on for Lent. The church said that they would be fasting from whiteness, cracker ass crackers, by not using music written or composed by white people, but focus on music from other cultures. Why don't you just do it? Why do you have to announce it? And why do you got to make it a celebration? We're fasting from the white people. How about you just do it? Why you do it because you're virtue signaling, especially because you're white. The church has even erected a sign to promote the 40-day religious observance. Of course they have, despite the church's lead pastor, Reverend John Egerton, being white himself. Egerton was arrested in Boston in 2017 for confronting former Senator Orrin Hatch about proposals to repeal the Affordable Care Act. So he's a libtard, sack of shit. For Lent this year, as you can read, First United is doing a mix of giving something up and taking something on. In our worship services throughout Lent, we will not be using any music or liturgy or whatever the fuck that word is, written or composed by white people. Our music will be drawn from the African American spiritual tradition, from South African, which is also white, freedom songs from Native American traditions, and many more. For Lent, it is our prayer that in our spiritual disciples we may grow as Christians. Of course, this is the Christian thing. United in the body of Christ with people of all ages, nations, races, and origins. Yes. Look at the big sign. Fasting from whiteness. The Lent we build our worship life around the voices of black people, indigenous people, and people of color. Of course, it's on YouTube. Turning Point USA captured footage of the sign saying the practice did not unite anyone. And it doesn't. There's the pastor right there. There's the fella going to jail. Little liberal sack of shit. Let's see what the pastor's got to say.
Throughout the season of Lent, we are continuing our spiritual practice that we are calling fasting from whiteness.
Yes.
Of course, I am not someone who can change my skin or change the way that my presence as a white person allows me to walk through this nation with much ease. But during this season of Lent, what we are doing is we are choosing to place at the very center of the worship life of this church the voices of black people, indigenous people, and other people of color.
This shit is ridiculous.
We have found that you do not need to go very far.
The cuckery in this is so fucking insane.
At all to find wonderful worship resources. You don't need to even leave this county to find an amazing resource.
The cuckery in this entire thing is just insane, right? Sharing a photo of himself being led away by a cop on Facebook, he wrote, "Thank you for your prayers. I've been released, whatever." These people are so fucking, you understand? This whole thing, this is racism. Well, it's not racism, it's discrimination. And by the way, I have no problem with racism or discrimination. I think they should be 1,000,000% allowed to do this. I just want to be able to do the same thing. Vice versa. Why can't I have a all-white festival? And you know what I'm saying? What would they call it? The what do they call that motherfucker? Hold on. Why can't I fast from blackness? No hippiter hopper songs on the radio, right? No chicken in the grocery stores. Why can't I fast from blackness?
Fast from whiteness. Of course, I cannot change the color of my skin
They're all
or the
white.
way that allows me to move through the world, but I can change what I listen to, whose voice I prioritize. And so that is kind of the plan for our worship services.
Yeah, I know.
Through Lent. That we would fast for a time from prioritizing white voices, and that we would use the music and poetry of Black, Indigenous, and people of color.
Democrats are fucking horrible cock pussies. You're a horrible cock pussy. All of you. You can respect and appreciate black folks without demonizing and going after white folks. What is wrong with you?
And see what the Spirit might do
That's spirit.
among us.
The spirit. It's going to make you do a jig.
We know that a lot of the music that we will want to use during this time of Lent
Beyonce.
will be spirituals.
Right.
And we know that those
This
are
little light
public
of
domain.
mine.
That means they're free to use. We don't pay to use those.
Well, I'm glad. Thank you for explaining that to all of us. Oh, that's right. I know who your audience is. I get it. Go ahead.
A lot of the white European music that we use, we do pay for through licensing.
That's because we
that
do.
licensing
We have
ensures
business. We do
that
business.
artists are paid for their work.
Right. It's called
The
business.
ways that black artists have been undercompensated or uncompensated is unjust. And so we will be
What? In music? When have black people been underpaid in music?
paying royalties during this Lent on our spirituals,
so
on
this little
public
light of mine?
domain works that we use. And
You'll be paying
the
royalties on this little light of mine, and okay.
Chicago Music School, the completely free music school for the young people of Chicago, they have agreed to receive those royalties from us.
You're just gonna pay it to some school. Got it. Donation.
We
That's not
are
royalty.
looking forward.
So you're giving welfare. You're not actually paying the artist that composed the music. You're just giving the welfare to someone else. That's not royalties, you dumb fat whore. Let's go ahead.
To finding out what God might do among us during this Lent.
Right. Let's figure it out. Let's find out what God might do during this Lent. This is insane, is it not? I mean, it just gets more insane each and every day. What do you guys think about this, right? All I gotta ask is this: can I fast from blackness? Or from Mexicanness? Or can I fast from liberalism? Can I do that? Well, how can I do that? I'd like to do that. What do you guys think about this? My problem here isn't that they're doing it. My problem is that I'm not allowed to do it. And so my question to everybody is, why are you or anyone else allowed to do it, but I can't do it? Because if I do it, you're racist. But it's never racist when other people do it. Why is that? Why the fuck is that?